Now, coming up next, it is not stopping here at all. We're going to bring up Rob Powers again, and he is going to be speaking with none other than Kyle Taucher, who worked on Defiance. And again, I'd like to remind all of you that are sitting here in front of us to grab one of the Siggraph special editions of the Lightwave 3D magazine. There's a great story about Defiance in here. It's actually the cover story. And I would also like to encourage everyone to grab our card that tells you all about Lightwave 11.6, Never on Motion, and Chrono Sculpt, our 2 new products that we're launching here at Siggraph. Again, remember that you can buy it here on the show floor, or you can go to lightwave3d.com and buy it online. And let's see where we've got Rob. You guys are up. You know, there's so much fun stuff going on here, so.
It's Lightwaves.
Without further ado,
Lightwaves, okay.
President of Lightwave 3D Group, Rob Powers, and Kyle.
Hi, how are you?
Love Defiance.
Kyle.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you.
So we're going to talk about something really cool. You guys have been watching Defiance, I'm sure. How many people have seen Blood and Chrome, Battlestar Galactica's Blood and Chrome? Incredible, beautiful visual effects. You guys did 2,000 visual effects on that, right?
I believe it was very close, somewhere between 1,800 and 2,000 shots.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is unheard of.
In a month. Wait, that's not true. That's not true.
In a week.
In a week, yeah, sorry.
It was great. You know, I came in to visit the studio and you were showing me some amazing stuff that you were doing. Your camera work was just incredible with these visualizations you did with the ships flying through.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, what I like to do is what I do mostly is previs and shot design and layout and that kind of stuff. So, because Lightwave's camera moves as fluidly as it does, which if you're a user, you will know that. It's very easy to look through it and animate through it and all that. I will set up large master shots of all the action and then just put 8 or 10 cameras in it and just shoot it. Do the same move with a 25, with a 150, punch-ins with a 350, you know, chase cameras, you know, God's eye wraparounds.
So a very filmic process where you set up the action and then you put all the cameras in 3D around it and you cut from camera to camera, just like film.
Absolutely, shoot for the edit.
Oh.
You know, I mean, shoot for the edit. And, you know, plus, you know, if you find things as you're setting up the shot, as you're moving around, you go, oh, wow, that's juicy. Or throw a camera in every cockpit, render it all, see what you get, you know, because you might get some nice stuff. And the editors love that because frame 100 here is frame 100 there is frame 100 there, so it absolutely cuts.
That's cool. Working with master shots, so you set up your action and then you put a bunch of cameras, that's brilliant.
You know, if you were to do that in the real world, if you're doing a Michael Bay car chase and you had a crane chasing a taxi cab through a shopping mall, you know, I mean, you're going to put 20 cameras on that and see what you get because it's very expensive. So, you know, and this it saves time, and if you have the render power, you just throw it all out there and you get it all back, and then I'll cut it together and submit that to the editor as somewhere to go. And so even before shooting, which is useful in Blood and Chrome a lot, before Jonas started shooting, we were able to do the Archeron sequence where they go into the destroyed ship, where Adama is being trained in the holographic training sequence and all that stuff. Did all those way before they even started shooting, so the actors can look at it, know what they're going to be doing, you know, the whole bit, which is Previs's role anyway. But there's a way to streamline it and make it all work together without having 90 things going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It helps actually simplot the process.
Right.
So.
You know,
but there are custom shots too.
I love Blood and Chrome so much. It was such a great series, and I enjoyed the not only the space battles and the visual, you know, the visual quality of everything there, but the virtual sets and that whole planet, the ice planet.
Oh yeah.
The whole thing, that was brilliant. It was just gorgeous.
You know, if you know the original, the Galactica series from 04 and 03. And you see the work Doug Drexler did on the hangar bay the way it is now. We expanded Galactica to look even bigger, so that the ship looked like a war machine in her prime. Because in the series, it was like 40 or 50 years after Galactica had fought that war. So, you know, CIC is bigger, the landing bay is bigger, the hangar bay is bigger. The place is just this ship is just this giant delivery system for fighters and weapons and nukes and everything terrifying. And we had the room to do it because it was just a green screen thing, so why not make CIC bigger? Why not? And so there's a whole mechanism. If you look closely at the show, if you watch it again, the fighters are always moving in the background. We had the idea of it loading like a magazine, like in a 1911 pistol.
That's awesome.
You know, except it's going down instead of up. And they're loading the ships into the mag, boom, to be shot out. It was really cool. So had it gone to series, and maybe some nice developer will do that, but we had all kinds of ideas to show the Galactica the way you've never seen it. So this is as far as we got.
The concept of the young Adama's story.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, we first did it in what was it, Razor? Was it Razor? Where we first? Well, that was a scene that I did where he jumps out after the Cylon and they grapple in midair. You know, I previs that with the same method, and the director liked it, and they shot it that way. So another place where that comes in handy. So I completely prevised it, sent it up to Vancouver. He shot almost exactly the previs, and then that ended up in the show the way it was. And that's what lit a fire for the whole Young Adama thing.
You know, as you're talking about this method where you set up the master shot and you do your camera work as the way a real film project would be done in live action.
Yeah.
I noticed, I mean, one of the things that I've noticed about the series that I love is the way that it is so poetic with the music and your camera moves that you have going on. You can tell that it really was composed as a shot. It wasn't just these disconnected visual effect shots that have
those always look like jump cuts. You know, they don't fit, like cut to CG shot, you know.
And I'm just realizing why is because you are thinking in terms of the way that real filmic shots are set up, and you're doing that poetic motion all around that master shot. You're allowed to, it enables you to really do that creative sculpting of the camera work.
Right, and well, thanks. But another thing too is that the style of, and Galactica is the example. It's always handheld, frenetic. Yeah. So you know, and we've been doing handheld camera stuff in CG since Foundation Imaging.
Right.
Where my sensei John Allardyce taught me that stuff. You know, and so we've carried it on through Firefly and everything. So it kind of just all blended. But like the Caprica pilot, he shot a different way, so I had to shoot a different way because you couldn't suddenly have a frenetic handheld CG camera style if the director's shooting deliberate, you know, crane moves and dolly moves and stuff. So, you know, but you got to match the style of the dailies too. Of
absolutely.
course. Yeah.
But I want to say congratulations to you guys on the Emmy nominations for both of the shows,
Thank
Blood
you,
and Chrome and Defiance.
Yeah, that was nice to wake up to.
Yes.
I'm sitting there with my coffee, and I knew it was Emmy nomination. I go, Blood and Chrome, I can see, you know, and Defiance would be a plus, and boom, you know. Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Well,
we're up against Game of Thrones and whatever Zoic's got in the pie, so it's anybody's game.
So it's gorgeous, you know. Again, Lightwave work, getting those Emmy nominations, and your great work, you know, is definitely worthy. And I'm going to be voting for you guys.
Well,
as
thank
an Academy
you.
member.
You know, I wonder if there's a statistic if you could find out whether shows done in Lightwave have a higher percentage of Emmy nominations for visual effects than shows done in any other package.
I would say yes.
I wonder if you could run that down.
I would say yes. I would think the history of...
Run it down since Babylon 5,
yes.
obviously.
Yeah.
And see what I'll bet you could figure that out and put it on this you know, this bar graph or something.
Supplying Emmys to more shows and individuals than any other
That's
software.
That's right. New Tech is scarfing up more Emmys than any other software package.
Well, let's take a look at this reel that you brought in with Defiance and look.
Let's take a
let
look
everyone
at it.
share that. Audio. There's no sound? Okay. Well, I guess we should talk over because there's no sound.
Oh, I guess there is no sound. Okay, yeah, those opening space shots, then... Is this just the opening episode?
We shall entertain you. Okay.
Right. So here's the debris field. Now here's a view Lightwave hybrid shot. So since the Lightwave plays nice with view, we can get the cameras back and forth.
Yes.
This worked out really well for us to do the Badlands in view. And these shots here.
Yeah, that View Extreme plugin works really great in Lightwave. I used it a lot on Avatar as well for the alien planet visualizations we did early on. You know, you get all those instances from View showing up in Lightwave's interface, and now we have instancing built into Lightwave.
Yeah, because you cannot move the camera in View the way you can move it in Lightwave.
Right.
That's impossible.
Right.
So, you know, what drove me nuts.
Right.
And so luckily now that I just bring the View scene into Lightwave, move my camera around, do my thing, and then flesh the scene out in View. Now here's Dave Morton's incredible green screen stuff that he does.
That's beautiful.
Oh yeah, you know what's weird about his scenes? I open his scenes up, I see a bunch of blue boxes, I hit F9 and wow. And I get wow, you know. It's
That's
like,
gorgeous.
how'd you do? And you look at his scene, there's like a brown point light 3 kilometers over here. It's like, I don't know.
Wow.
It is the weirdest thing when you see those guys' scenes, but it's masterful work when you look at it.
And that really is one of the unique things about the secret to what you guys have done with Blood and Chrome and Defiance is all these virtual sets.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to build practically even what we did on Babylon 5.
No.
You know?
That's that, and this is a great example. And Blood and Chrome took that idea and really just embraced it and ran with it. And that is where the future is going to be. It is.
Yes.
People are still afraid of it. In the upper echelons, they're still a little afraid to embrace that, which I think might be one reason why maybe BSG didn't get picked up, or Blood and Chrome didn't get picked up. But because it wasn't having to do with the quality of the show. I think they were afraid of the production pipeline, letting visual effects drive the boat, essentially.
Yeah. See, that they don't realize that with Lightwave, you don't have to be afraid of that kind of stuff.
No.
You can do it.
No.
And that's the cool thing. The film industry is kind of moving towards the television schedule and budget pipelines.
Yes, it is.
And Lightwave's been doing that for 25 years with the television shows that we've been winning Emmys with. So
exactly.
It's a real perfect marriage for creativity.
I agree.
So producers, don't be scared. We want Battlestar Galactica Blood and Chrome to be a series. I think everybody should communicate and tell them that I want to see that series. That was awesome.
Because remember, that is the future. That's going to be your new soundstage largely.
He's pointing across the hall. We have a green screen stage across from us.
There's a green screen over there. So that's going to be your new soundstage, essentially. At Universal, I walk in there where the BSG office is. We walk in there, and there's stage 12 in there where they're set up for the voice, and there's millions of dollars of hardware in there. And for that show, you need to do that. But, you could do an entire feature just in that room now.
That's right.
Because of that. If you look at Pacific Rim, for example, which I saw twice, because you should, yeah, it's just a big bag of sexy. It's an entire green screen film, and it looks amazing. It looks fantastic,
Well,
Defiance. Here's Deg's excellent modeling work, and everybody on the crew, from Sean Jackson to Doug Graves to the amazing Doug Drexler, to Dave Morton,
Academy Award-winning Doug Drexler,
Gary the Hutzel, our fearless
Gary
leader, Gary the Hutzel, who is currently in Toronto working on season 2 of Defiance, which we're just about to get airborne in about a month. So, which is good.
I have really been loving the show myself. It's in my DVR every week, and I was bummed when the last episode of the season happened because I've been looking forward every Monday to seeing that.
Right.
And it's really just gotten better with every episode. It's great acting. Visuals are great. The Lightwave work is great.
These are all full Lightwave shots, this one here. And it takes nothing to render these now. Because machines have gotten so powerful, the render's so optimized now, you just hit the bitchin' button. And
so those of you who don't realize, the work you're seeing that's all CG here, Lightwave comes with an Emmy Award-winning renderer built into the 3D application. You don't have to use V-Ray or RenderMan or blah, blah, blah. You get the renderer, unlimited render nodes with one purchase of Lightwave is all included. And it's the same software they're using on Defiance and Battlestar Galactica Blood and Chrome. And I really think that the production value on Blood and Chrome, if you haven't seen it, the Battlestar Galactica prequel, we'll call it, with Young Adama, the production value was so high on that I think the producers are scared because it looks like it's $1 billion to do. And with Lightwave, it wasn't.
Visual effects budget, I think, was 2.4.
2.4.
That's a lot of money in a suitcase on your table. When it's especially like in hundreds. I mean, or in 50s, even better. I prefer the 50 myself.
I'm a
fan of the 50.
I want to be like Scrooge McDuck throwing those things around.
But once you're spreading out through salaries and production and time and months and blah 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 blah,
and you spread it across 1,800 to 2,000 visual effects.
1,800 to 2,000 shots and a few pastrami sandwiches later. I mean that's and we went through 2 coffee makers. That's really not a lot considering what you got for it, and
when we're saying 1,800 shots, 2,000, I just want to say that, again, if you have not seen Blood and Chrome, get the Blu-ray and look at it, because we're not talking about subpar, average, some of the shots are great and some of them are not. The entire thing is a spectacle of science fiction, visual extravaganza, and it's amazing. It's
hardware, it's warfare, it's things going boom, it's cool realities. They're inside that abandoned hotel, and I couldn't even tell those were CG sets.
That's all CG sets.
I looked at it every day.
And it was great acting and story. Yeah. And that's the important thing, is that it empowers that. It shows you it was really an awesome
And everybody, when we were on the show, that's the show we really wanted to do, and we were really thrilled to do it. And we had a great time on Defiance with the stuff we've done here, too. There was something about, we got to get back on the Galactica horse, and that was really great. In this shot here, this is all studio green screen stuff with CG rocks, the whole bit, all the Bissell Pass stuff here, That's all, there you go. He's just standing in a stage in Toronto. You know, and here's the Volge, which hopefully we'll be seeing again in season 2 because they're nasty.
Showing armies of, instance characters walking through, attacking, and all of that.
Lightwave's instancing tools, of course, now that they've arrived, have been hugely beneficial in this, and I can't say enough about the render being so much faster now. It's helped everything along. So I even do previs now, sometimes in full HD.
Well, I can't wait to get your hands on Chrono Sculpt. Because coupled with Lightwave, with the kind of stuff your guys are doing with dynamic simulations and all of the way you can alter these creatures that you've had show up in Defiance, you can sculpt and change them and make them look really mutant. Because how many of you have watched Defiance and seen an episode of it on Sci-Fi? Okay, great, most of you. So you notice that there's some, the concept is that the Earth has been altered by this alien race technology, and so there's all kind of like half Earth creatures and half, and so Chrono Sculpt, working with, your artist does one character, one creature, and you can make variations on that so easily to kind of tie in with the concept of what, Defiance is doing on that planet.
That's a great shot.
Beautiful, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, wish I'd done it. But, yeah, that's a cool shot. I previs the whole Volge battle and everything, then we turned it over to Dave Morton and Neil Zapata.
Oh, wow.
They worked like this little, remember the Binars in Star Trek, who did
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of like those guys. They just sit in this little room and then cool stuff just comes out. You just throw an idea in, cool stuff comes out. It's great. It's like a little factory of cool.
That's very cool.
Which is really what because our facility is really small and it's like a little submarine. There's cables everywhere. It's small and tight and it's full of monitors and everything. And it's not smoked glass and muffins and a flame bay and everything. We don't really need that to do what it is we do, which is why Lightwave is the perfect tool for it. It's almost like these days, especially where things are, it's almost like the Renegade software now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like the Resistance to be.
Join the rebellion is our new tagline for the show.
And I implore all of you, who are Lightwave users, you are the Resistance because we're not going away. And a lot of the facilities I've worked at, it was always the Lightwave guys who were called in to solve the problems when other things failed. Not to detract from other software that does amazing things. But you want amazing, you want it fast.
That's right.
You go to Club New Tech and shop over there.
Pick 2 of 3 unless you're using Lightwave, and then you can do all 3.
Yeah, exactly. But plus the new things with of course now the dynamics in it has been so improved with Bullet and all this stuff. And I was telling Eric this. We when for the Defiance pilot, there were supposed to be shots of the arcs, the spaceships in orbit, their debris taking out the cities. Showing how our cities got wiped out. And with using Bullet and Turbulence together, I had scary building collapses where they're tumbling into each other and vomiting smoke and fire everywhere.
Awesome.
Oh, it was scary looking. And they cut it because it was scary. Like it looks real.
Wow.
I mean, it was really terrifying.
That whole opening sequence, though, where the ships are crashing is beautiful. I
love
that.
Yeah, we were going to have them tumbling into the cities as well. The shots exist. Come in next time. I'll show you the test.
I'd love to see that.
I'll show you the test.
Maybe that'll be on the uncut version of season 1.
Yeah, well, they were never finaled out. They never got past the test phase, but the tests were really scary and really promising. They were really eerie.
The other thing I want to point out is, although the show is shot up in Canada, you guys actually have the production over at Universal Stage here in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're just like this, a few thousand square feet of office space over in the Alfred Hitchcock building. And it looks like it's like a little submarine. It's just this little rabbit warren.
So
room.
Visual effects work is live and well in Los Angeles. You guys are doing that and proving that.
You don't need the big West End place and everything, but we're not doing car commercials there. We're not doing stuff that demands that for those type of clients. We're not doing Playtex ads or whatever. We're doing spaceship stuff and blowing up robots. Which is and unless you're spending that ILM money, you don't really need to do that. But it shows that you can spend less, get it done faster, and it'll look awesome. And this is the tool to do it.
Absolutely.
And this is the same crew of people who've worked together on and off through places like Foundation Imaging and from Zoic into here, from Eden, from all the known Lightwave places. And it's culled into teams like this and little pods of us that are throughout town.
Yeah.
And then you guys are here in Burbank now, thank God.
That's right. We got the new office in Burbank, and we're coming to visit all you guys and getting your feedback, your great feedback. One of the things also that is interesting to me is I know this, from my many friends at work, Digital Domain, worked there, and some still do. Their most profitable, if not their only profitable division, was the Lightwave commercial division for years.
Oh yeah.
The same thing at Rhythm and Hughes with the box. Their commercial division with John Mark, Austin, and all that was the profitable division, turning out these beautiful shots. Is my understanding, is what I've been communicated, that those were really efficient teams within a larger studio.
Yeah.
You know, so it's interesting to see how Lightwave can plug
Didn't
into
the
that.
ILM Rebel unit used to be a Lightwave?
Yes, that's right.
Lightwave, well, Rebel group, essentially.
That's right, and that Star Wars shot of R2-D2 and the prequels was done, that iconic shot was done using Lightwave that, was rendered out of our software as well.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people still use it as a previs tool, and they elect to do the shots in other packages or send it to facilities to do stuff. You know, I previs commercials with people that they've, just imported it somewhere else, but all the grunt work and all, maybe not the dial-in effector, but the camera moves, the setup, all that kind of stuff is so easy to do in Lightwave with the way we shoot that it just makes it the way to go, you know.
You know, I can't wait for you to get your hands on 11.6 Spline Tool, because when you can put those object nodes into the scene and control your camera motions or light motions or object motions with a spline that's interactive, and you can control the trajectory of the path by rotating the nodes on the spline, and your camera moves are no longer going to have those limitations of keyframe data. You can slide that camera smoothly through that spline and do it. I can't wait to sit with you.
You have my attention.
Yes. I mean, it's going to be very cool.
Well, we start up there in mid-August, so...
Yeah. Well, we'll be over before then. I'll sit with you, and I'll show you that new stuff, and I can't wait to see what you do with it, because you've already done amazing stuff with the tools that were already in Lightwave 11.5 and earlier. This new 11.6 feature of the Spline Tool, also for things like tendrils on creatures or Defiance stuff with
tell Jesse about that. He'll love it.
Squid or whatever. You've got Spline IK, but also for you, that you can use a spline tool for camera motions,
right,
or light motions.
And the little mocap thing you guys got going over there too is going to be really useful in a previous setup too. So it also depends. Hopefully the writers will write us some nice actions so we can do these things. Of course, we've wedged it in ourselves sometimes too. You should put a car chase here, and we'll do it. We have had those fortunate circumstances where we've been able to get our own agenda, our own visual effects agenda in.
Great.
But, that's always an uphill climb. But, Defiance has been good to us, and I'm thrilled that it got nominated for visual effects, which is great. And that's all because of Lightwave and the people who drive it and the people who write it.
And you guys, great work. I mean, I came over there to see what you were doing, and with the team that you have and the visual quality, I mean, I personally am a fan of the show, and like I said, am DVRing every episode and watching and looking forward to that. As I'm working on the show, I don't see it in broadcast, but I see it as we're working on it. And as we're going through, I can see why people like it. It's fun, it's a little kitschy, it's different than everything else. And as the show evolves, hopefully if it stays on, we'll get a little more muscly in it and stuff like that. So, absolutely.
With any show like that, at first, it's always like this. On the visual effects, that looked a little weird. But eventually the grip starts to come away. We end up getting a little more freedom as the show ages. So
I think we're going to be doing a giveaway now of Blood and Chrome. Okay, Kiki, you want to come up and facilitate the giveaway? Maybe you can participate with us here.
I'm going to steal from you so many, it's a bag of giant sexy.
Giant bag of sexy.
So, we actually
I've heard it my whole life.
We actually have a reel of Blood and Chrome that we could actually play.
Oh, cool.
Do you want to ask a question to see if they were listening? Yes, no, or I don't want to put you on the spot.
Did I shave this morning?
That's an easy answer,
Where?
Isn't it?
The answer's Ventura, California.
Okay, you guys. So this is for a free Battlestar Galactica Blood and Chrome DVD.
Blu-ray.
A Blu-ray, yes. How many rendering nodes are included with Lightwave? Yes, winner!
All you want.
And you get
just take that home, play it really loud. Things go booming.
Got to come up and get your picture made. You can't get away that easy.
Take a picture next to your Emmy.
Right on, right here. How's that?
Look at you.
Oh, we should get Kyle in here. Yeah. We're all a bunch of hands.
Great.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you for that participation.
All right, you guys.
Let's go straight to Facebook.
Let's roll the Blood and Chrome so you guys can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, you got to see that.
You got to see Blood and Chrome. The whole thing. Look at this.
Now remember, this is all green screen here. So that's Doug Drexler right there.
Go, Doug Drexler.
Yeah, Doug the amazing Mr. Drexler. So you can see we just expanded everything. This made the ship look gargantuan. And we only had that half Raptor to work with too, so they did a great job matching that stuff up.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's astounding what they did. I was not involved in these shots. I just couldn't believe what I was looking at.
So there is no excuse for production value saying you can't do these kinds of shows, you can't make it work. You're seeing the evidence right here done in Hollywood, California, Universal.
You could do it with a Western. You could do it with a Elizabethan period piece. You could do it with, high-tech future. You could do it with dystopian Alabama. Whatever you want to do, you could do it all,
Green screen virtual sets are the way of production. Look at that. Nothing on that. The two people standing on a green screen, you have that shot.
Attention set builders.
Okay, producers.
Now look at this. Here's the CIC, completely redone in CG.
Wow.
Because remember, the sets and the assets were sold at auction. So none of this stuff even exists anymore. So Doug had to redo the whole thing. Look at that.
That looks real. Guys,
I'm astounded.
Producers, don't be scared. We want to see Blood and Chrome. I'm telling you, you can do it on budget, on schedule with this team that Gary Hutzel, Doug Drexler are leading.
Gary the Hutzel has proven this can be done.
He's proven it, so don't be scared. You're thinking of other pipelines that cost so much more money, take so much more time. They're doing it with Lightwave. You're seeing the evidence, and I want to see this series. I love the show.
I know. I'd love to do the series. I'd like to spend the last 10 years of my career doing this show.
And we want to see it. We're huge fans. Yeah. Everybody write in and
tell us. We want to do Cylon spiders, and we had a whole thing about how the guns in the Galactica would be loaded. We had all this stuff we wanted to do. So you never know. Now here's. Now I don't know if this shot was ever finaled out because some of the stuff, some of my space stuff actually didn't get finished.
Wow.
So we just put the previs in, but it still ended up looking. It was only a couple of shots, not a lot. But
it's actually incredible. Great. Is there a shot in the entire film that doesn't have?
Oh, actually, there is one sequence in the show that is not visual effects, and it's a shower sequence.
Okay.
And seriously, because there was really, they actually had to build the set because there was water, there was steam, there was, condensation on skin, all this kind of stuff. So, and look at this. This is inside the. I can't remember the name of the ship, but the.
Look at that gorgeous Lightwave renderer that comes with every purchase of Lightwave.
So yes, the only shots in the show that are not a visual effect is the shower scene.
The shower scene.
Yep, everything else is a visual effect.
That is amazing.
Isn't that, it's astounding. And this was done, I think the whole budget on Blood and Chrome was 7.5. That was lunch on Transformers.
Yeah.
And...
one day. Lunch one day.
Yeah. It's amazing. That was lens rental on, Pacific Rim or something.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That is amazing
It's
work.
astounding what they did. And I think a lot of this stuff here, this is Dave Morton and Neil's stuff. That's all they had to work with. And you got to give props to the compositors as well, who went in using, here's my chase stuff here.
Their After Effects work.
Using After Effects, and I think they've abandoned the other software they're using, which I can't remember. Nuke became problematic to get stuff done quickly like we wanted to do, so... Thank you.
Never see shots
and
like
these are view backgrounds with Lightwave foregrounds, and so here's a bunch of view stuff here.
I was impressed with this whole ice planet. Look at this.
Yeah, so a lot of that is view.
This is incredible.
And Lightwave together.
It's
so the Lightwave ship, the view background, compositors just marrying the whole thing together really well. Everybody did a fantastic job. Everybody just knew what their job was, and everybody loved the show. So people went the extra mile on it. So it's one of those things.
We're blown away that the same tool that Chris Jones and Richard Manns are using to do their shorts and their individuals, you guys are using to do this level of work. The same exact tools.
This grew out of, for me anyway, in my involvement, from watching season 3, The Shadow War in Babylon 5, seeing that stuff, and going, I think I could do this. And then I learned Lightwave, and I think it was 9 months later, I had a job at Ron's place.
Wow.
And that's how it happened.
I just picked up my whole series of Babylon 5 DVDs last week.
Did you?
Yeah.
I remember being at home and watching the Vorlon Planet Killer. I go, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen on TV.
Yes.
And I knew at the time it was done with computers, but I knew very little about it, researched it, learned it. And here it is.
Where we are very proud that our technology, Lightwave, powers science fiction television shows that we love, powers this quality of renderer and all the modeling, animation, visual effects shots that have been done with Lightwave and won and been nominated for Emmys, as you guys have been recently for Defiance and Blood and Chrome. We're rooting for you. We know that you, Gary the Hutzel, as you referred to him, and Doug Drexler, I'm going to be voting for you.
That's great. Thank you.
I think that it is incredible work. We're so happy to have you here, and thank you so much for coming
thanks
today.
For having us, Rob. And
thank
all of you.
With us.
Thanks for watching Defiance and BSG and Firefly and all the stuff we've done throughout the years. And Star Trek and all the
I
other
would
stuff. There's
say
more to come.
make your voices known online and tell them you want to see Battlestar Galactica Blood and Chrome as a series. Let's let them know not to be afraid to do these shots. You can do it.
Attention producers, you can make a green screen show and not break the bank.
Yes.
Trust your visual effects team. That is all.
Yes. All right.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, man. All right. Thank you, guys. And Kiki, we're going to go back to you.
Yeah, but before you leave, Kyle, I want you to autograph our Lightwave 3D with Defiance on the cover.
Oh, my God.
Please.
I will.
I'm sure other people might want to do the same. So
Is that
just
me?
I believe so.
We now see where you shaved.
We now know.